show where two savvy entrepreneurs try to take a whole bunch of money from our shark, a man who is rich beyond our wildest dreams. We're going to try to solve a problem and convince the shark to invest in our idea. Hopefully, the shark will use his own money, but only for the right person with the right idea. So let's start Improvised Shark Tank. Hi everyone, my name is Corey, and I'm here to invest with the sharks along with my business partner, Kat. Hi,
Hello,
Kat.
everyone. Hi, Corey.
Before we begin our pitch, we would like to give you a Shark Tank update on our previous product, the Lotion Buddy. Kat, you remember the Lotion Buddy, correct?
Who could forget? Who could forget?
Unfortunately, the last time we were on Improvised Shark Tank, the shark did not invest in the Lotion Buddy. And Kat, since that aired, can you tell everyone what exactly has happened with regards to the Lotion Buddy?
Yeah, so I personally went to 6 TJ Maxx's, and I'm selling them out of the trunk of my van in the parking lot. And we're doing fairly well. I've made us, Corey, and I didn't give you the figures quite yet because I wanted to make sure I could still take wampum. I have roughly $63.
Good hustle. I love it.
How much of the $63 is in wampum?
$62.
Fantastic. Great. I'm excited for the next time we go to a casino. I'm sure they will take that to buy half of a steak. Anyhow, Kat, are we ready to ploy the shark with our brand new innovation?
Yeah, I'm going to keep coming back until we get a deal.
Same here. We are entrepreneurs who never say die unless we're selling dice, but only one. So I'm very excited.
Yeah.
Die. So, sharks. This is our product. Have you ever been in a meeting and you're sitting there and you're thinking to yourself, boy, this could have been an email.
I'm in one right now.
But we have the product for you. Sharks, let me introduce to you the Meeting Buddy. The Meeting Buddy is brand new from the makers of the Lotion Buddy and the Toilet Buddy. And it is going to revolutionize the way that meetings in America, nay, the world, will happen. We are asking for a $5 million share in exchange for 92% of the company.
Boy, well, I gotta tell you, I am fascinated. First things first, I see the item here. Corey, how does it work?
Well, I can explain it to you thusly. What you do is when you're in a meeting, it's a twofold product. If you're in a meeting, you take the Meeting Buddy and you put it on the table. And what it's going to do is it's going to facially scan every member of this meeting. It will identify the person who talks the most and the person who gets looked at the most. And those two people will automatically get emails telling them that they wasted everyone's fucking time.
Okay. I'm sorry, could you hold it a little bit higher? I don't want to be scanned.
Absolutely.
Kat, so we're looking at the item here. Here it is. I see it. It's present. I see a hole on the left side of it. Kat, could you tell me what that hole does? What's the function of that hole there?
Sure. So if you see in the back here, it looks like there's almost a little bit of a slot. That is to place your peanut M&Ms, and every half an hour you have a successful back and forth to people that made you have that meeting. You get 2 M&Ms. It's an incentivizer to keep you in the meeting.
So we're incentivizing people to stay in the meeting, even though the express purpose of the product is to register displeasure with the fact that there's a meeting. So we're giving people sugar, and that's going to keep them in the meeting.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, Corey. Please.
Oh, no, apologies. It's just the rationale behind the sugar is that we are hoping... We know that when you're sitting in an office, it's a very sedentary lifestyle, and we assume that most people have elevated blood sugar because they're, sitting around, they're not doing a whole lot of moving. So we're encouraging them to just slowly pass out so that an emergency is called and the meeting can end quickly.
All right, now here's what I'm envisioning.
Okay.
I get your explanation and I appreciate it. So I'm an office guy, right? Which is why I have a desk, it's why I have a chair. And anybody who questions that, I'd ask them to tell me why I have this chair if I'm not an office guy, right? So I'm trying to put myself in the position of somebody who's in an office. Now, I think that if I found out that my coworkers were being incentivized with peanut M&Ms to continue interacting with me, I might be offended. Therefore, here's my question. How is this device refilled once you run out of peanut M&Ms? Kat, if you could expand on that for me, please.
Sure. So what we recommend as a company, as the buddy company, is you fill it before your meeting. So you always have it filled and on the ready. But on the off chance you need to fill it during a meeting, we found the best course of action is to simply do as follows. And this timeline and this day and age in 2021, we found this to be the safest, most effective way, which is you will take your buddy and go, ah! And you'll cough as loud as you can, and it'll mask the sound of the M&Ms. Everyone will be concerned. Are you wearing a mask? Are you vaccinated? Do you not? But it masks the sound of you refilling it, and then you can place it down and say, excuse me, thank you. And then you get 5. You get 5 every time you refill as an incentive to keep using the product.
Now that's ingenious. So just to clarify here, so the cough sound that you make to cover it, it's like a really loud sort of cough.
Yeah,
How is that? Could you do that for me again? Yeah, Corey, if you could show me as well.
Yeah, I can show you because I have these replica M&Ms right here.
Perfect.
So we can do exactly the sound that it's supposed to make, and it's a little something like this.
I don't even hear it. I'm only concerned. I'm only concerned for Corey's health. Never mind the fact that there's apparently a need for replica M&Ms instead of just buying the real ones, which I imagine would be similar in price, if not cheaper.
Replica M&Ms are much easier to show the public that this product is for the people. And if you have regular M&Ms, people try to eat them. They squish them to see if they're real. They melt. I keep them in my pockets when I'm nervous. So replica M&Ms are really good to show the community who we are.
We're not ready to present.
M&Ms, right?
We're not ready to present this product to the market yet.
No.
But we are in the process of improving M&Ms for demonstration purposes. There are so many companies out in the world that use M&Ms to showcase that their oven gloves don't reach the height of melting chocolate in your hand, even though M&Ms say they melt in your mouth, not in your hand. Sometimes you want to use M&Ms as evidence that you're not leaving your children in a hot car. So oftentimes police will use M&Ms as evidence, like, oh, you gave this child some M&Ms and the bag melted. But you can show them the replica M&Ms and say, no, it was fine. But we're not there yet. That's not on the table today.
No, there's quite a few lawsuits from Ford and General Motors on that front. So we're not there today.
Yeah.
But they are fairly useful in this setting.
Right. Now this brings to mind, Corey was speaking about the uses of M&Ms in different segments of industry. I remember that there was a bicycle company that somehow incorporated M&Ms into their advertising campaigns. Do you remember the slogan for that, Corey? What was the slogan for that bicycle company that involved M&Ms or chocolate candy, something like that?
Yeah, what the company was Schwintastic Bicycles, and their slogan was "Ride so smooth. If you put an M&M in your ass, it's not gonna squish." Oh,
I remember it rhyming though. Kat, what was the rhyming slogan that company had?
You know what? He's very close, and I think we grew up in different areas. I was a tri-state area, so the commercial
Right.
might have been different, or maybe you don't remember. You know how you remember like the Sleepy's.
Yeah, they
commercial
market
and the
bicycles
jingle.
differently in different
Right,
areas of
right.
the
Well, no,
country.
sometimes you like misremember. I always thought it was Scruff McGruff, Chicago, Illinois, 61612.
Was 652.
Yeah, exactly. So I think it was a ride so smooth that MM won't move.
Yeah,
It's so smooth
that's
that
a-
Eminem won't move. That was it.
You know what I
That's
mean?
it. How did you not? What playground in America could you not hear that being sung?
it was all over the place.
It was. I remember this. Okay.
Except where I grew up, where we had the longer version.
Yeah, I grew up in a different area, so
Yeah.
See, where I grew up, we didn't have television, so these were actually print ads that were flown on airplanes above our neighborhood, and they would drop
Wow.
little satchels of M&Ms on the neighborhood, which is how the first time I tried an M&M was actually on the roof of an abandoned building.
And can you imagine the business acumen that these people had? They're dropping M&Ms in neighborhoods where children will just eat them and throw away the advertising. Whereas with replica M&Ms, those children will get so upset and disgusted that they give the advertisement to their parents, possibly in a Halloween style "this candy hurt me" kind of way. But then the parents will see, oh, it looks like product A is advertising that it won't reach the level of melting chocolate candy shells.
and it helps sell bikes. Kids love bikes.
Kids love bikes.
And the other thing about, getting back to our product, the other thing about
Yes.
sugar is the same way that alcohol can kind of be a lubricant in social situations. We've found that sugar is a good lubricant in work and educational settings. So it really
It's the only
loosens
lubricant
people up.
allowed at work.
Sure.
Yeah.
Good educational lubricant. Because,
Yes.
I've spent years focusing on creating a formula for a proper educational lubricant. The only thing I couldn't think of was a name. But we'll deal with that later. So I'm going to put myself in the position of somebody who's in the room while the meeting buddy, is that what it's called, the meeting buddy?
Yes, meeting buddy.
Okay, I'm going to put myself in the position of somebody who's in the room while the meeting buddy is being used. So I'm at a meeting, synergy, logistics, lines, blah, 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 so on and so forth. And now I see something that looks like a rainbow pencil sharpener, and I hear a click, 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 and I see somebody take something from the pencil sharpener and go and put it in their mouth.
Sure.
Right.
Now, as the person who's putting the M&Ms in the mouth, how would you explain? So if I said, hey, what the hell was that? What are you doing there? How would you explain, Corey? How would you explain yourself? How would you explain that?
So, if I'm the owner of the meeting buddy, I would say to myself and to the person who asked, oh, I get an M&M because I'm sitting in this dumb shit meeting. And then everyone else...
get fired for that. You see, this is what I'm envisioning. I'm envisioning offices across the country. I'm envisioning riots.
Right.
I'm envisioning huge uprisings and upheavals because suddenly workers don't want to work anymore without the constant promise of peanuts covered in chocolate. I hope I'm not out of line here in expressing that concern. Have you thought of any other ways, Kat, that we could circumvent that problem? What are some other items that the meeting buddy could resemble? Say, again, I'm talking to you, you're eating M&Ms. What the hell are you doing eating M&Ms in my meeting? Oh, no, sir, I'm sorry. This is and go ahead and finish that sentence for me.
Sure. So the best item that we found outside of a rainbow, because that's a party item, it's more like it gets people invited, involved. They look and they go, wow, that's really cool, that's rainbow. They see M&Ms being dispensed. Prior to COVID, we would say share the M&Ms, but it's difficult to get someone to eat melting chocolate out of the palm of your hand during a pandemic. We've had all of the tests, and people don't enjoy that.
Let alone the fact that you're actually actively coughing in your hand to cover up the fact that you're putting them in.
Sure.
So immediately roadblock,
Right. So a different direction we could go is we've been workshopping a ceramic mug. It looks a lot like a coffee mug. except there is no bottom or sides. It's just a handle free floating. And that you'll bring it to your meeting and you'll set it down, and M&Ms just go everywhere. And hopefully enough people grab M&Ms that they get so sidetracked that the meeting is either postponed or it just doesn't start at all.
Wait a second. You should have led off. Hold on a minute.
Sure.
You should have led off with this. You invented a mug with no sides and no handle.
Oh, no, there is a handle.
Yeah, it's a free floating handle.
No sides and no handle. For a second, I just thought that was a plate.
Yeah, no.
We've
Plates
innovated fully off of plates.
Different. Sure.
Yeah.
So what Corey and I have done is, we've, and as we talked about this in our last pitch, which is that we're related. We grew up briefly in the same area, and so Corey and I, we talked about our father and how he's an alcoholic, and so going, back to that, we've spent a lot of Easters alone drinking. And in the pause boxes, the little egg dipper made of wire.
Right.
Yeah.
We've been fashioning mugs with just a handle for years.
Yes.
So we like to bring it back to our youth and things we're comfortable with, and that's how we came about with this idea. But Pride Month was last month, so that is our rainbow meeting buddy. And like I said, it just adds a little zazzle.
Love is love, of course.
Absolutely.
And for a second, it looks like the stairway to diabetes. So I don't know if there was some connection between the shape of it and the sugar content, or what was happening there. But now that you're explaining, that Pride Month was last month, this makes sense. We found
the slide to be the fastest way to dispense the candy. When you're in a
because I thought it came out of the hole. I thought the hole.
No, you load it in the hole. I apologize. I thought you asked if the hole was forced. You load it in the hole, it goes down the slide. That's why you could share pre-COVID.
There has to be a better way for people to remember that the M&Ms go in one side and slide down. There has to be maybe some sort of rhyming device we can use. Corey, what kind of rhyming device can we use to help people remember that the M&Ms go in one side and then slide down the side that they're meant to slide down?
So we've actually written, we appreciate the rhyme, but we've written a haiku in order to explain, because we find that people really grasp earlier concepts when they're in a 5-7-5 syllable scheme. Beautiful. So in the instruction scroll that we provide with the meeting buddy, when you open the wax seal, it says, I'm sorry, hold on one second, Corey.
Yes. I love Japanese poetry, and I would appreciate if both of you could tell me this poem together. I think that would be a wonderful show of solidarity. And I think that, if both of you are as invested in this product as you say you are, you'll give me this poem with a certain type of delivery at the same time. So I would really appreciate hearing. I love Japanese poetry.
Right. So, Kat, are you ready?
Yeah. I've been rehearsing and hoping he would ask. And so I'm proud to finally be able to say it live on television for him at the same time.
Yes.
For all 50 million people who watch ABC after football.
Yes.
So here it goes. So you open the scroll, and it says, to share candy.
Candy, naturally.
With. And that's
syllables.
The first line.
There's 5 syllables.
Yeah,
okay,
that's 5.
To share candy with.
Co-workers. You
must fill
this, and that's 7.
Third line here.
Whole with
M's.
Chocolate.
Chocolate.
Yeah.
Okay. That's beautiful. It's a beautiful poem. I like the part about filling your holes with chocolate. So
sometimes it's already filled with chocolate.
And that's what the Toilet Buddy was about. But we did not get funding for that.
I remember I don't want to get into Corey's personal life, but I have some concerns about the product here.
Sure.
Have we contacted M&M Mars about using the name have we been in contact with the company themselves? Because this is what I'm envisioning. I'm envisioning that M&M sees the product. I'm envisioning that they like it, but I envision them playing their cards kind of close to their chest. And 6 months down the road, I assume this isn't patented just yet, but somewhere down the road, I imagine some sort of plastic red M&M, yellow M&M. Maybe they're holding a pencil and they're sitting at a desk like that. Maybe the yellow M&M is kind of bored like that. And there's a plastic mold, and if you pull the pencil down, the M&M will come out of his mouth like that. And boom, there's your idea in a much more consumer-friendly package. Have we contacted M&Ms? What have they said about this?
Yeah, well, M&M said flat out no. We went with Palmer chocolate instead. Every Dollar General, Dollar Tree carries Palmer. We feel like it's a good market. And Palmer made a M&M type candy. Naturally we can't use the copywriting of M&Ms, but they're called M's, and it's AHEMS. So they're M's.
Oh, because it sounds like the cough. When you cough and put them in, they're called
exactly. Thank you. M's. So we, with Palmer, it's much. We don't like to say cheaper, but it's more cost effective for the consumer. It is
more cost effective,
and the business itself.
And what we have found is that. Oh, I apologize for interrupting, but what we have found is that when you're in an office situation, like people using the Meeting Buddy would be, they tend to elevate anything that they can get for free in terms of value. So if we were to give someone, for instance, a Twizzler, they would say, oh, this is amazing, this is a Twizzler. But above and beyond what most people would respond to a Twizzler about. However, if you give them a red vine covered in lint, they will say, oh my god, a Twizzler, with the approximation of someone who would normally find a regular Twizzler. So when you're inside of an office, all your expectations rise so much that we can get away with using Palmer's substandard chocolate solids, which is what they have officially told us we have to call them, substandard chocolate solids. We can use those. Or, yeah, that's for short. We can use those, and we have found that there is no difference in how your average employee responds to that chocolate, because they're just happy that something different has happened to them in their humdrum, doldrum bullshit lives.
Yeah, so we found that if it is shaped like a candy, any office worker will eat it to escape their humdrum bullshit life. It could be anything, as my partner said, it could be a Twizzler or a red vine covered in lint. But we found that any sort of sweet ingestible in an office setting really breaks up the monotony of their bullshit humdrum life. And so when we partnered with Palmer and their substandard chocolate products, it's a match made in heaven, honestly.
So we haven't talked to M&Ms.
Oh, we have. They said no.
Yeah, we keep talking to M&Ms.
No, we have exclusively partnered with Palmer's. What we did here, and I know Corey could probably fill you in on the extras, but we decided with Palmer's, instead of money, because our Lotion Buddy, as you're aware, was not endorsed, we split our Hershey Park pass with the CEO of Palmer's, and so that way we're able to make this business connection. Because, as you know, Hershey, big on chocolate. That's their whole thing. Is the walking bar of chocolate with the little feet and the Reese's cup, is city slicker and cool. But we the head of Palmer is stealing company secrets. So we figured. Right. And I'm sorry, Corey, I didn't mean to take the stage.
Oh no, go right ahead, please.
It was a great deal for us because I think yearly passes are only roughly $200. So we did great in that regard.
What we did was we convinced the Palmer's chocolate CEO that going on the Hershey Park factory tour, you know, the little curated ride with all the animatronics who loosely give you an idea of how chocolate is supposed to be made.
The singing
but it
cows,
is,
sure.
yeah, there's singing cows, there's, you know, talking chocolate. We convinced him that Hershey Park is basically a Willy Wonka type wonderland where all of his fanatical candy secrets can be found.
Yeah.
And so we've essentially used our business acumen to trick this man who cannot make good chocolate into thinking that the secrets to chocolate are found there.
And it's a free ride.
You can go as many times as you want.
Yeah, the only issue we have every time is it's, you know how Swiffer products, the big green stick that you click together. Yeah. We keep one of those in a duffel bag so that when we pass the cameras where you smile and wave for the ride, we just put it up so no one sees the Palmer CEO. And that gets difficult after a while, because why do you have a whole Swiffer wet jet in your purse? Who let you in here? Who are you? That kind of thing. But we're upstanding citizens and we pay our park tax. And we have our meeting buddy. So we're very proud of that.
Well, I appreciate your hustle, and it's very inspiring to see. But here's another issue I have. I'm diabetic, and I probably should have mentioned this about 25 minutes ago. But M&Ms are a no-go for me. So, have you explored other snacks? Have you explored other treats, other concepts that we can put in this thing that maybe don't require hustling the CEO of an inferior candy company onto the roller coaster educational ride of a superior candy company and carrying a Swiffer in your bag so that you can distract the cameras, so that while the roller coaster goes past the singing cows, we don't see that the CEO of Palmer is sitting in the car for the roller coaster ride at Hershey, implying that he doesn't know how chocolate is made.
Sure. When you say,
I mean, have you had Palmer chocolate before? It's evident the Palmer company does not know how to make chocolate.
Oh yeah, it's just like brown baby powder. But what I'm asking is, have we explored other solutions for people who are maybe sugar conscious, maybe people who have braces, can't eat candy?
Sure,
like
of course. It's the 21st century.
Yeah.
We obviously have come across many. We've experimented with many different kinds of rewards. And in fact, I can show you our first iteration here. This was Meeting Buddy 1.0. And Meeting Buddy 1.0 would shoot quarters out at people who did good in a meeting, but we found that the compressor that we used to shoot the quarters would burst through high-story windows and also damage skulls. So
I made the quarters very hot, and it turns out people don't like quarter-sized burns.
Yes, they don't.
Oh, right, almost like little hot butter knives just flying out of a tall hexagon in the middle of the office.
We've been experimenting. We're on a health kick ourselves. Everyone's trying to be more health conscious and wellness and green base.
Sure,
we've experimented with olives, with blueberries. We've experimented with sugar-free root beer barrels, and those are more just to confuse the people in the meeting, because no one eats those anymore. And where did it come from? Whose grandma was here? Is everyone okay? Maybe they evacuate the building.
Sure, because where do you buy root beer barrels anyway? Who buys root beer barrels? It's there; they're just actually occurring.
Right.
You can buy them at the Palmer CEO's company store. We found out
it's his son's basement, and we go to be polite. He's also our weed dealer, so it's very kind of him to give us root beer barrels.
Weed, okay. So now we're clarifying that this was an idea that was born under the influence of marijuana. Because I don't think we've touched much on how we came up with this idea. I'd like, Kat, Corey, maybe one at a time. I'd like to know your background and where this idea comes from and how weed, as Kat so eloquently put it, plays into it.
Right. So in 1997, I was 10 years old, and I started working at the first weed dispensary for children.
What was that called?
It was called Puff Puff the Magic Dragon. Yeah, the extra puff is for the weed, because a lot of people know that Puff the Magic Dragon he is not weed, he is a byproduct of smoking weed. So we wanted to differentiate that. Yes, you're supposed to puff, and then you'll get the Puff Magic Dragon to show up.
Sure.
But it's from there when I was first introduced to meetings. Before then, most of the meetings I had were disciplinary at school, because I would smoke weed and laugh at everything my teacher said. But once I moved into the working world, I quickly learned that meetings they could easily be, back then it was faxes, now it's email.
Right.
And Kat, do you have a similar insight? What's your background as it relates to meetings and the corporate world?
Sure. In 1997, I was 6, and I just wanted to be like my big brother Corey. So what I would do is I would play meeting, and he would be, pretty stoned and always try to get out of it. So I figured, what's a good way to get my brother Corey to hang out with me? And it was M&Ms. It was M&Ms then, when we could use legally M&Ms. But so I've just wanted to hang out with Corey more, because our home life wasn't good. And, we went into business together. We did pretty well for ourselves, the 60 so wampum. And it was just born out of necessity. This project is born out of necessity, let's face it.
Just something you needed. Okay, I can appreciate that. So I can appreciate the, a need-based idea. There's one major concern I have with this. We're living in the age of COVID. I know it's not popular to say that. I know the executives told me not to bring it up on TV. People don't like it. It's a bummer, but we got to be real. So my concern is that coughing, and this is the mind for coughing. If we're coughing, and we're putting candy in the device that we're coughing into,
Right.
I'm concerned that has an improper look. People are going to be concerned. Have we made any headway into figuring out a way to fill these things remotely? I know I have a Keurig. I have a Keurig at home, and that has tubing where hot water is dispensed into the Keurig, and then you make a cup of coffee. You don't have to fill it up. Have we explored that? Have we gotten into that at all?
So we've tackled the and yes, we understand that COVID it's a very important and a very prevalent thing in our lives, and it looks like it will be for some time. It's no laughing matter. So we've come up with 2 solutions, both in the loading end and in the receiving end, and we're excited to premiere that today.
That's great. Corey, if you could premiere the first solution, I'll have Kat premiere the second solution.
Sure.
Absolutely. So let me just pull out the there's if you're in a COVID consistent environment, you'll take your meeting buddy, and this is a special prototype that we have.
It looks like the first version of the meeting buddy, but I like the style here.
Well, if you notice, there are 3 holes in it now.
I see.
Yeah, I can show you. Yeah, that hole right there. If you can see that hole. Yeah.
Right.
That hole right there.
I wish this wasn't on Zoom, but I wish I had like a physical representation. So I guess I'll just do that. So
yeah, you can do that.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. It's a yeah. So that's to showcase the hole. But what we have here, this is just your straight regular 99 proof hand sanitizer, and all you do is if someone ever gets to the dispenser, you just spray them. It'll just spray them repeatedly.
That's amazing.
Yeah, you can see that it actually sprayed on my webcam, but it doesn't affect the background in any way.
And I hope you didn't forget to move your keyboard. Kat, what's the second part of the solution here?
And just to clarify, the first step was the loading, correct?
Yes,
And the
yes,
second
that's.
step, I'm sorry.
Come on. You invented this thing. Go ahead. Tell me the second part.
So the second part is fairly simple. Even a child can do it. The second part is it emits a high-pitched screech to let people know to refill it. Once you load it, and if you need to have that spraying action, and there's no one nearby to refill it, it will emit a screeching noise. It'll alert you via Bluetooth.
Wow.
And we're gonna level with you here because it's kind of getting close to the wire and we need the money. But we did take some tech elements of the Toilet Buddy, the technology in it to measure the oats to feces ratio, and we popped it right in there. It will measure the M&Ms in the buddy, and it will do the screech in the Bluetooth.
And I would, so if there's one thing I like when it comes to design, when it comes to tech design, there's one thing I enjoy, and that's sounds. So if you could tell me what that screeching sound is like, I'd love to hear what the people in the office hear when the device screeches.
Sure,
Kat,
Corey, if you don't mind,
I can
go ahead and do that. So we do have 3 settings, just depending on your office.
Okay.
So we do have a very polite. It's not quite a screech. The screech is the 3rd setting. The 1st setting is just hey. It's very gentle. Just want to scare them.
Okay.
Hey. The second one is, oh boy, mama, who's hungry? And I'll just keep saying that because he gets people to look like, what is that? I'm hungry. What is it? And then the third, which is, sure.
No, please.
Yeah. Well, I knew what you were going to ask, if I may. And yes, it was also Gilbert Godfrey, like from our lotion buddy. And then the third
boy, mama, who's hungry? Something like that kind of show.
Yes,
boy,
exactly.
Mama, who's hungry?
Boy, I'm hungry.
I'm really hungry.
And then the third noise is
Okay. So I just want to make sure I have this right. So the first sound is like a hey. The second, if we could do all this one together, because I want to make sure I'm on the same page, we could, on the count of 3, we'll do it at the same time. 1, 2, 3.
Who's hungry?
Okay. And then the third one, and if we could do this one at the same time as well, I just want to make sure I'm understanding the product the way you're pitching it. The third one is a... All right, I made a decision. So here's what I'm thinking, right? Forgive me. I kind of threw my voice out that last little bit there.
It sounds like you're loading a meeting buddy.
You would think so. You would think so, but so here's where I am with it. I like the idea. I like the fact that we're discouraging unnecessary meetings from happening. One of the hardest parts of my life as a corporate guy is going to meetings that I know could be emails. I hate them. I hate them. At the same time, I can't get by the idea that if I knew the coworkers that I was with were only in the meeting because they were being fed peanut M&Ms through a secret pride-colored device, I don't know how I'd feel about that. So, while I respect the idea, and I respect your background and the circumstances that led you to create this, and again, taking unfortunate life circumstances and flipping them into a positive, I just don't see the market for it. So unfortunately, I'm out.
I hate to say it, but I think this is going to be the biggest mistake of your personal, professional, and romantic life.
Even your spiritual life.
Listen, go out and prove me wrong. I want to see that happen. I want to see you go to TJ Maxx and sell these devices. Sell them right next to the other buddies that you sell. Those little buddies that you got there. You know, you got something here. I just don't know that it's the space for me right now.
The Buddy Mobile, Kat, we're going to have to load it up with extra change for wampum, because I think, let's not do TJ Maxx this time. Let's go straight to Raw Stress for Less.
Yeah, that's the market. That's the market for our items. And we're
if anyone loves Palmer chocolate, it's people who shop at Raw Stress for
Raw
Less.
Stress for Less.
Like me, like you.
While you're there, can you pick me up a bag of ums?
I can get you arms and a slightly stained polo shirt.
That would be perfect. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for your time.
Hey,
Thank you.
best of luck to you. Thank you.
Thank you.
And that was the improvised Shark. Oh, this was the improvised Shark Tank. I don't. What the fuck? Why do what? Okay. Yes. Thank you very much. If Jess, please make this go away.
Ooh.
Give it up for Improvised Shark Tank. I will be meeting you all at the Ross parking lot. I would like all of the buddies, please. Please have all of the buddies there. They will be with me.